Pros and cons to the Baylor versus Texas game. I want to start with the cons because there's not many of them. 2 interceptions by Gary Bohannon in the first half. There were some drop passes by the wide receivers and tight ends as well. No points off of those 2 turnovers Baylor forced on defense, which was 1 fumble and 1 interception, compared to Texas's 7 points on 2 interceptions. They allowed 280 yards passing, including Xavier Worthy having 4 receptions for 115 yards with 1 touchdown, which was blown coverage. But after that, they shut him down for the most part, and most of those passing yards were just underneath, not right in front of him. So no big plays. They allowed at least 3 or 4 big plays on defense, over 20 yards, but I'm not sure on how many more. Okay, the pros, 199 yards rushing on 42 attempts, though technically, if you don't include those 3 kneel downs at the very end, it would have probably been over 200 yards rushing. 228 yards by Gary Bohannon overall, which Gary Bohannon had 18 completions for 31 attempts for 222 yards with no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But Tyquan Thornton had a 6-yard touchdown pass to R.J. Sneed. Our Gary did have 5 rushing attempts for 27 yards with 1 touchdown. Abram Smith had 20 rushing attempts for 113 yards with 1 touchdown. Tristan Ebner had 12 rushing attempts for 66 yards. Ben Sims had a 1-yard rushing touchdown, which was a trick play. And R.J. Sneed had 8 receptions for 94 yards with 1 touchdown, while Tyquan Thornton had 5 receptions for 54 yards. Of course, there's other players that stepped up during the game as well, but that's 2 key notables. Allowed 0 sacks on offense and 5 tackles for loss by the offensive line, so that's a really good job. 5 for 12 on 3rd down and 1 for 2 on 4th down, 23 first downs. The defense forced 2 turnovers, an interception and fumble, like I said earlier. The defense had 2 sacks, so it could have been more, but there was a lot of pressure. And 4 tackles for loss. Baylor held Texas to 102 yards rushing, including Bijan Robinson to 17 attempts for 43 yards with 1 touchdown, but that touchdown was only from the 1-yard line on 4th and goal. 7 pass breakups on defense. The 3rd down defense was excellent. 3 for 14 for Texas on 3rd down, and even 2 for 5 on 4th down, which the last one at the very end Texas had to go for 4 plays for 10 yards. Baylor didn't give up a single yard that last possession before the kneel downs. They allowed only 18 first downs, which is now tons. Made every extra point and made 1 out of 2 field goals, but the miss was 51 yards, but that was a bad snap. The made was 38 yards, by the way. Isaac Power had 2 punts for 102 yards, with Long was 58 yards. Time possession, Baylor won that. 32 minutes, 54 seconds to Texas, 27 minutes, 6 seconds. They only had 1 penalty overall for 10 yards on holding on defense, and Baylor did block a punt today. I don't want to hear the excuses from Texas fans about the refs in this game. You had a double-digit lead. Baylor outplayed you the rest of the way. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.